Good afternoon, Tokes. That's right. Richard Radcliffe, Nazanin's husband, is here with me now. Richard, you've been campaigning for this for a long time. How did you feel when you got the news?
Yeah, no, pretty elated. And we got told yesterday that it was going to happen. Foreign Secretary called me and said he was going to do it. And obviously, as you say, we've been calling for it for a long time, been campaigning in different ways for almost 3 years now. And yeah, to finally have him say, yes, we're going to do it. And now it's been announced and she's got diplomatic protection. Big step.
And for viewers at home, what exactly does this mean now? What greater rights does she have?
It's a good question because I don't think any of us quite know. It's been so long since it's been done. Formally, what it means is that now all the injustices that Nazanin suffers, Nazanin's case becomes a dispute between Iran and the UK. So it's a formal legal dispute. So before, we would suffer injustices, we would complain, but the UK's position would be sort of sympathetic, but not its own case. Now it's the UK is taking up the case as well. And what that means in practical terms, it's got more rights to demand to visit her, it's got more rights to demand she's okay, demand an independent doctor gets in, and also can, open negotiations and so on. In practice, I think, he's made this announcement. It was a very clear announcement. We'll wait to see what happens with how the Iranian authorities respond, and partly that will gauge as to what happens next.
And have you spoken to Nazanin since the news?
Not since the news. So I spoke to her at the weekend. The Foreign Secretary asked me to check, does she still want it? So we had some sense that maybe it was coming. But no, I will be able to speak to her tomorrow. Be able to tell her. So obviously, you all know that before she does, but I'm sure she'll be pleased.
And there have been some problems with her health recently. How is she doing? And how is your daughter, Gabriella, as well, who is also in Iran?
Well, so that's right. So Nazanin was on hunger strike last time I think I was on your show, 2 months ago, which was about a lack of health treatment, and there were complaints about lumps in her breasts. There were complaints about strange pains in her neck and arms causing numbness, and also mental health problems. None of those have been treated since. So she probably over time got more and more deflated and worried, particularly about sort of some of the physical symptoms. It's one of the reasons why actually invoking this diplomatic protection is important, because it should allow for the treatment to happen. Gabriella, of course, as she gets older, begins to understand more what's going on, asks more questions. Upset her mum the other day, asking about, well, mummy, when you were arrested, did you have a mask over your head, and did they have masks over their heads? So it's things that bring back memories, and it's hard to explain to a small child that you want to protect.
A very difficult situation. And just for you now, what does it mean over the next couple of months? Because this new diplomatic protection means that it can be raised in forums like the United Nations. What will you be doing to step up your campaigning?
Well, so we'll obviously be watching a little bit to see what happens from the Iranian side. In some ways now this is a British government dispute. I have to be a little less autonomous in how I campaign. But broadly it'll be carrying on the same, and that is to, as you say, doing things at the UN, trying to do things with other families. There are other European families are being held, other American and Canadian families are being held, trying to do stuff together, and keeping her name in the light, through events and so on.
Well, Richard, thank you very much. So Nazanin, we think, doesn't yet know the news Richard was just saying there now, but it seems that everyone campaigning for her is very pleased with the developments here. Tokes, back to you.